versus Goliath, but let me tell you something about Norm Duke. Nobody has more guts and more heart than Norm Duke. "31 events, although it was a major that he won. It's been a while." Oh. That was hold because the ball was left out of his hand.
Didn't appear too nervous. First finals for him in so long. Just the one TV match last year. We shall see after this convincing win in the semis. Picks up the 4-pin. He's got his spare. They're all playing for the exempt field in next season. It's unbelievable how much pressure is on you bowlers. Robert Smith is already in after winning.
Yeah, and you know, just because you win doesn't mean you make the top 50 in points. Last year, Chris Hayden finished 62nd and won in Orlando. So with the new rules now, if you win, you're in.
Has dramatically changed the complexion of this entire PBA Tour season. What pressure on every event, on every player. 21st year, bidding for a 21st career title today. Multi-pin numbers.
Just in match play.
Tate. More stats to break down. Baby Ruth, real deal, Randy. Koivuniemi and Duke.
Duke, the higher average. Obviously, a higher strike percentage. And the spare conversion percentage in match play, a little bit higher than Mika's. But Mika threw a lot of strikes. Don't kid yourself. He struck when he had to. Real high-scoring match in the round of 8 against Michael Haugen Jr. Right here. This guy, no stranger to throwing X's when he needs to. We saw that in the last match.
11th all-time with those 20 titles, playing a big match experience, and the 10-pin stands.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that ball had nothing on it when it got to the pocket. It basically hit the 1-3 and puked on it, and that's why he at 10. 6 goes to the wall and just kind of lays there. Shorter player, he uses a full approach to generate momentum and speed to the foul line. And those numbers that you see on the foul line are not because the players don't know where they're standing.
Norm is listed at 5'5". Foot 4. So vastly different approach. You can see how much closer he is to the foul line. A lot of power. Throws the ball so far down lane on release.
And like we talked about before, you know, his ball's going a little high, 4-pin. You know, he may not move. He may just throw it harder and loft it further. You know, the ball can't hook. It's in the air.
So why can't more players bowl with such loft the way Mika does?
Well, I think it's because of the environment that Mika grew up in. You know, bowling in Europe, the front part of the lane is normally really dry, and we see a lot of Europeans loft the ball out. They try to get the ball over the head so it doesn't hook early. You ever try lofting it, Dave, when you go bowling?
I don't bowl well, Randy.
Maybe.
Loft or not.
Maybe
Maybe
lofting
I
it
should
could
try
help.
some more loft. I'm not 6'4", though. He generates an incredible amount of loft with that wingspan we talked about. Looking for a 72nd straight frame without an open. This is the time to catch fire. Messenger, not in time.
Well, he doesn't go high, only leaving the week 10, but take a look at this profile. We showed him the Dexter approach. Look how high that backswing is. Notice how steady the head is. Not a lot of knee bend for a guy that's 6'4". You know, I remember Big Steve Cook back when I started on tour. Big, powerful left-hander, about 6'5", 6'6". He had a tremendous knee bend, but he didn't loft it. Steve Cook, a Hall of Famer.
Thanks, Gary Cobb, John Chamberlain, Luna Bowl co-proprietors. Beautiful center We are not far from Arrowhead Stadium, downtown Kansas City, on the Missouri side.
And two of the nicest guys you'll ever meet right there.
Late help, 7-pin goes down.
That's a good spot for Norm to get his ball in, that switch zone. As strong as these bowling balls are, you're going to carry that hit 9 times out of 10.
In match play, a 12-3 record coming into this final day. Tom Daugherty, Mike Devaney, Rick Steele-Smith all going down to Norm Duke, and none of those best-of-7 matches went the distance. He's had an effective run. Look at all the titles. Enormous disparity between the two.
But you can't discount all that international experience that Mika has. Again, and I'll say it, we talked about it before. Lane conditions and the oil seem to break down much faster than normal, and it's because of the light amount that they put in the front part of the lane. Guys having to make adjustments on the fly.
Takes care of his mark. Sets up an exciting conclusion. A 1-pin lead. That's it for Norm Duke, bidding for a 21st title. Can Mika Koivuniemi take his 3rd ever championship? You'll find out from Lunar Bowl. Exciting conclusion comes your way next. Thank you from our crowd today here at Lunar Bowl, Blue Springs, Missouri. Our live coverage of the PBA Tour continues. Greater KC Classic. What a final match we got going. Ready, let's check in with this week's Uniroyal Tire Rock and Roll.
Okay, Chris Barnes is going to show you how to make the 2-4-8-10. Moves a little bit right, gets soft with his speed, and just rotates his hand around the side, trying to get that ball to dig in like a snow tire. Throws the 2 and the 8 over into the 10. Perfect conversion.
Our Uniroyal Rock and Roll this week. Through 4, you saw the numbers. 3 straight spares for Koivuniemi to bring this match up and start in the final.
One-pin match and the first strike for Mika.
Duke has just 1 strike, that in the 3rd frame. See the numbers there with a single pin left. With that loft. Blisters the rack there, but somehow the 10-pin stands. A lot of power on that ball in lane 23.
There's a point where it's too fast and too flat, and this is one of them. 6-pin goes to the sidewall, lays in the gutter. It's dead. That ball was a little flat. Mika's tendency is to get fast and to throw it.
Picks up the 10-pin. Why, in your opinion, has Mika only won 2 championships on tour?
That's a good question. I don't know. He certainly has enough talent to have won more. It was only his 3rd or 4th season on the PBA Tour.
Trying to make some history today, but Norm Duke is standing directly in his path. 10-pin standing on a solid ball. Duke liked it. Final match, tour exemption for all of next season on the line.
Come on. Spare it up. We'll play from here.
All tied up with a spare here. The only thing other than 9 spare in the strikes was Norm's first frame where he went 7 spare. Mika's, all he's got is 9 when he didn't strike.
Next week, Randy and I and our great ESPN PBA Tour crew rolling to Vernon Hills, Illinois for the PBA Miller High Life Open. The action starts as always at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 on the West Coast right here on ESPN. Don't miss the best bowlers in the world. Vernon Hills, Chicagoland. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Somehow, Cubby fans in Chicagoland trying to recover. Trying to recover.
You know, I don't live in Chicago, and I'm trying to recover from it. I mean, how nice would that have been to see the Cubs and the Red Sox in the World Series?
All right, just carry down.
This ball has nothing on it, never quite gets up high enough, and into the pocket. In fact, it doesn't get to the pocket at all. Leaves a 2-4-5.